Hey guys, it's Tarkin coming at you with another game of Minecraft. It's mainly just wheat, and the first thing you think when you see something like this is, I bet that guy doesn't have quite enough wheat seeds. That's exactly right, so we're gonna get some more of those real quick. I know a place. I got a guy. He's just gonna have to dig them up real quick. Shall we do it here? Yes. Of course, the wheat has to be done by hand, although the flying can be done, you know, for cinematic reasons. But there's nothing really better after a long day than going home and planting some wheat. That's what I always say, or rather, what I've said for a little while now. But this small wheat field here, this is like my my great project. You know, this is what everybody will remember me by. It won't be my my startling turns of phrase. It'll be the wheat field. And you know, if you could be remembered for being a bad poet or as a guy that planted a lot of wheat, well, I know which one I'm choosing. I like to remember me this way. In case you were unsure what I meant, what the correct answer was. Although we all get to choose, you know. But just so you know what the right answer is. It's wheat. Just wheat. That pool of water is, you know, unnecessary, but this part of the wheat field is very, very old, and it would just simply not do to change it at this point. Like, the dirt structure and stuff of this central part of the wheat field has been this way for nigh on a year now. Not exactly a year, but just basically a year. All of this here. You know, and when just this little part here inside of the river, and when I began, I used to think that was a lot of wheat. But of course, I mean, look at me now. Yes, look at me now. If only everything in the distance were wheat, but unfortunately it's not so. But did we... Oh yeah. Never mind, maybe we didn't need that many wheat seeds. Because we just need to dig a trench here. This might be a very deceptively named stream. This might be just river formation. We're gonna have to go get a bucket. And a shovel. We're gonna have to get both of those things. I mean, not now. Right now we're just gonna do wheat. But when we finish up to the edge of the savannah here... Oh, hey Colin. What's up, man? We're just planting some wheat. If you haven't seen it in a while, I planted a bunch of it. Look, you can see it in the distance. You know, it's everywhere. Everywhere that we want to be. But as I was just saying, you know, this is basically the only thing in life that really matters, you know, is planting wheat. I used to think it was so many other things, but, you know, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't even play Minecraft until like a year ago. I was a fool. I was so far from the truth of wheat. So, oh my wheat, that's a lot of wheat. Oh, there's vastly more than I've shown you. Not vastly more, just like three times as much, maybe just twice as much. It's sort of how, look, you know, because this mountain goes like over here too. Like, I don't want to downplay it, but it also takes a little while to fly around the whole thing. We're kind of in the middle of planting some. But, you know, it's, like, it's not just like a little sliver there. There's quite a bit here on this side that we didn't really illustrate from the previous thing. Yeah, this is my wheat field. Just a totally normal guy with totally normal senses of proportion. But we're actually getting at, theoretically, what the whole point of the field was. Well, in the modern iteration, it's gone through some changes, right? But because right now we're trying to do like the entire savanna between here and this large mountain. Not this one here, but like way. I'll point helpfully at the screen. That'll let you know what direction I mean. You know, that way. And now I think you immediately know exactly what I mean over there. But we actually got like to this river, and which was the stopping point. And I was like, oh, we can't build the Temple of Wheat yet. You know, there's still unwheated land over here on this side of the mountain of wheat. So we redoubled our efforts, you know. Steve, awesome to see. It's just gonna be super time consuming. Well, you know, the good thing is that I am like literally almost done, dude. You know, it's been, like I said, almost a year. I mean, I haven't been doing it every day, but I've done it a lot. Because, like, basically, as soon as we get all of this yellowish grass right here done, that's theoretically all of the wheat that, like, that has to be done. I mean, is that gonna be it? I mean, I doubt it. I even started planting it in my hardcore world, just a little bit, you know, just some. I can stop anytime I want to, I just don't want to. Everybody is successful very easy. Not anymore. I got unmonetized. Not demonetized. I didn't do anything wrong. But I had to like fill out some forms and do some stuff to verify my identity, and I just didn't do that. So they turned off the donate button, which, you know, like, is all right. You know, it'll be fine. I don't care. It was cool when it was turned on, but like I'm not highly motivated to fill out forms about it. They'd probably like it's a whole bunch of nonsense. I hate forms so much. Anyway, but no, it is no longer accessible. But I didn't do anything wrong. I just, you know, they want me to verify my identity, as if Google doesn't know perfectly well who I am. As if they don't know who I am and what music I want to hear at whatever hour of the day it is. Whatever. But, like, theoretically someday I'll fill out that stuff because, you know, like, abstractly, you know, it would be cool. You know, everybody that makes videos daydreams about, you know. Into it. Angela, what are the plans for the stream today? You know, just wheat. No, we might start building a little river soon. in a couple places. It won't be too long a one. Well, hello, Finny. Yeah, unfortunately, the ability to support the wheat is not currently with us, and I don't have an alternative. But I appreciate the sentiment. That's very cool of you. Yeah, no, I'll prove who I am someday. It's like all the instructions are like, get your smartphone out and do this, and I'm like, here's the thing. I mean, I guess I could buy a phone just to sign up. Keep it in a Faraday cage. Alright, anyway, this is sort of like Savannah-ish, so clearly it also needs to be wheat. But yeah, we've almost done it. Shock upon shock. We've also probably broken a magnificent milestone. Do I dare look at the statistics? I think so. I think we broke 300k. Yeah. Good estimation. We have now used 300,068 wheat seeds. So yeah. And mined, almost 80k. So the wheat field really is probably just like a little shy of 250,000 seeds. But hey, who's counting, right? Who's counting? The game, only a little bit. But that'll be nice, because like maybe I'll, life is very long. I'll probably live like 6,000 or 7,000 more years, and then I'll definitely be able to plant like millions of wheat. That would be a sight. Hello, Captain Coolshits. You say you live in the new profile picture? Thank you. Yes, someone made it for me, which you probably realized when you saw it, since I'm not really a visual kind of guy in that regard. But yeah, no, someone mocked it up and threw it. Someone would just like show up to a wheat stream just the other day. And they were like, changed my life with this amazing picture. I think it's just awesome. Because I had my old, the white tee on the purple background. That's what I rocked for 11 years on this platform. All 11 years that I've had this channel, it's always been that. But they found a perfect way to capture, my modern essence. With the same classic visibility. I feel like everybody, when they saw it, was like, oh, that's him. Now he has, an image more suiting to his personality. That's what I would have thought anyway. Well, I'm like, no, there's a little bit more right here. You can't declare the planting done, until it's good. Yes, my mustache and me. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Oh, no! We've fallen down and we can't get up. I'll just fly up. I learned where the button is to keep all of your stuff once you die. And that's been very nice. I, of course, do play hardcore, principally, but... Look, if you're gonna take all my stuff when I die, you might as well kill me all the way. I don't wanna have to run and pick up all my junk that I dropped on the ground. It makes me so mad. It would happen in Diablo 2. You'd have to go and get your body to get your items and stuff. Or you could leave the world and then, like, pick up your bones, but then, you know, you would lose all the progress that you had in the previous one. Sometimes you had no choice. Sometimes you couldn't pick up your bones. Very sad. Or you could play hardcore and, you know, just die. This is a special day for the wheat field. I mean, they're all good days, right? But this will mark the second time where I say, oh, okay, now we're done planting wheat. Now we can get to work on the temple. Though I don't know. I don't know how to do anything. Am I out of seeds? Oh no, we're gonna have to go get more seeds. No, not that many. Because, like I said earlier, the first thing you think of when you see this field is this is a guy who doesn't have quite as many wheat seeds as he needs. Whatever else we can tell about this guy, that is almost certainly a fact. And you're right. Not enough wheat. That's how I would describe myself. Maybe immediately, if someone said, tell me something about yourself, I would usually lead with, most people don't like me. But I think now I could just say, don't have enough wheat. And that would, you know, be suitably cryptic. I think it would do a lot of work explaining, you know, what I have to offer people in a conversation. Do I have any seeds here? Marvelous. That will do. We won't need more than that. Yeah, it's a nice little place. If I had known what this looked like, I would have built my house like down there, because this is like super cool. But when I first played, as I've related a lot, like I had my render distance down like to whatever the default is, so I couldn't see super far away. Like here, you know, even if I got to the top of that mountain, I could only see like a little bit out. So I definitely had a bunch of humorous moments of getting lost in the early game because of that. It was quite funny whenever I figured out how to see 4 times as far. Just Minecraft tonight? Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm only going to play for another 15 or 20 minutes, probably. I don't really stream much past midnight. The floor of the house is thin. And I am a loud speaker. But anyway, yeah, so that, I guess we did it. We did it, guys. We planted enough wheat. I can barely believe it myself. But it appears to be true. Let's just take a little tour real quick, and then I guess we'll figure out what we're gonna do next. Unhorror, you can respond. Oh, it's true. Yeah, no, I mean, my hardcore world is on, what, like day 680 or something right now? But, you know, I don't want to wear boots because, you know, feather falling would stop me from falling down and dying, which is principally the way that I fall down in this world and die on account of how it's peaceful. But yeah, so that's the mountain of wheat over there, and then we've got all of this stretch. Like, isn't it majestic? Is it not just a work of art and beauty? Hey, Natasha. Natasha, we finished it! From the far reaches of the other side to here. It's all done! We've planted enough wheat. Also, we broke 300,000 wheat seeds planted. So very, very nice. But yes, that is, no, you say it's also like it's... Yeah, yes, thank you. It is like an insane man's plan. No, I know what you mean. You know, it's... Yes, indeed. Now the river awaits. It shouldn't be too tough to do this, right? We can take... I need my tools, though. Where are they? Where would I have left them? Here? I mean, I doubt it. No, we would have left flowers here. The ones in the field over there? In the house? I just don't remember. Not there. Over the river awaits. Well, yeah, but theoretically, we don't have to plant over the river. We need to build a river there for aesthetics. And connect this here somehow. Probably not in this stream. But yeah, it's, like, what do we do now? Finally play the game? Nah. Alright, well, we've got our boots. We're gonna be swimming, so we're gonna need a little diamond boots anyway. Well, that's almost where our tools are. Speedrun the game? Oh, Colin, you should have seen the last time I tried to beat this game. You know, I've only ever beat it on hardcore. Alright, I don't need, like, a good shovel for this. We can just take our pickaxe and make, like, a lousy shovel. Yeah. Couple bad shovels, some dirt. 2 buckets is all you need. Yeah, we should be able to do this. We just need to go grab some kelp. But yeah, no, I spent like a couple of hours failing to make any progress, then I died and gave up. Speedrunning would be funny though. No, I've only beat the game one time on hardcore. I've not even beat it on easy. I haven't beat it in this world. Oh, we should have brought the helmet for respiration also. It'll be fine. He probably won't drown. Probably. Yes, we're going to walk on water now. It's very graceful. This dolphin is going to let us move about the country hilariously. We don't need that many kelps. Yeah, 100 kelp will do. Oh, it's so elegant. No, you can definitely drown. you can definitely drown in Peaceful. I have done it. I did it way early in the game. Turtle! Turtle. I did it, like, on my... I was trying to get back home from the Nether, and I was, like, following my compass. I was way lost. And, yeah, it didn't... Along the way, I was like, oh, here's this cool thing under the ocean, and then I got, like, lost inside of an underwater monument and drowned. It was in Bedrock. This would have been before I had the F3 screen or anything. It was before the Bedrock to Java transition in the Once Upon a Time. Bye, Colin. See you, man. Thanks for stopping in. And of course, the great thing about rivers is now I sort of understand how to make one. You do it gradually and then suddenly. But we're just gonna do this here. There, yes, right there. And we should be able to, like, to get almost a whole river out of this. Now that I understand the proper mechanisms of river building, rivermancy, to catch a river spirit. I'm out of dirt. Que mala fortuna. Oh, I better not fall down there. Alright, I'm out of dirt. This is not ideal, but it is not terrible either. It merely is. We can describe it as a thing that is. I'll get better. More kelp, more kelp. We need more dirt. How would we ever find it? Where's the nearest box that could have dirt in it? Probably far away, but maybe on top of this mountain? This would be like a historical box of dirt. Yes! Magnificent. We won't need that much dirt. I was getting a little overboard there. Alright, we could clearly make it work with much less dirt than all that. There we go. A more reasonable amount of dirt awaits. No, I've got dirt, I don't know where it is, you know? Most of the chests of this world, if you open them up, they're full of raw beef and leather. And only a few of them, mostly on the Island of Scholars, that's where, like, all my stuff is at. All of my emeralds and such, you know, my treasures. Chess management always a struggle. Oh yeah, every game ever. Every game ever. If you make me pick where items go, and there's not like a way to automatically sort it, it's just gonna end in misery. Maybe not for me, but for someone. Oh, we need the, I guess I need more of my gear, huh? Because the helmet gives you the thing where you can actually work underwater. I keep forgetting, you know, I probably even have it on there. Oh, right. Who said there's no automatic way? Yes, you know, you and your machines. I have not learned the automated way. They do a thing where using magic, they put everything into boxes. Sorry, not magic, computers. I'm always making this mistake. I imagine it's a combination of railways and, picture frames? Like, maybe you put every single item in the game in a picture frame above a chest, and then you train the thing to know which one to drop it into, and you just push everything into it. That seems like a way it could work. Because I'm trying to think of a way. Like, will it seed things that are already into the chest? Like, because I guess you could just put a pumpkin in a chest, and then it, like, knows to only put pumpkins in there. But it seems like most droppers I've had will just, like, put whatever in, right? But here we go. Aqua Affinity and that. Alright, we're gonna... Well, we might as well wear all the armor if we're gonna look silly. So weird wearing armor in this world. It's visited inside the community. Oh no, for sure. Inside of a computer. Yes, you know, the fascinating thing about, you know, electronics is like the pithy sort of, you know, observation that we tricked rocks into doing magic. I mean, it's not terribly far off. Like, it's not... So in Warhammer 40k, the best example of this I can think of, so the Adeptus Mechanicus, you know, they are a religion based on machines. So, like, machines work or they don't work, right? Well, in a manner of speaking, but that's not how they think about it. You know, they think that machines have spirits, and in Warhammer they actually do, or probably do, and sometimes definitely seem to, you know... So it's like, our computers were created by materialists, so we've developed a materialist way to think about them. But imagine a computer developed entirely by people that are non-materialist. Computers developed by, you know, some foreign alien culture that you know, the equivalent of some, like, religious magisterium is behind all technological progress and innovation, like in Warhammer 40k with the AdMech. Well, they're, like, the wizard in the computer is a much more useful way to think about it, you know, to them. They have their prayers, their invocations, you know. What are they doing? Well, they're doing a maintenance thing. Well, yeah, but that's not how they look at it. And from a materialist point of view, they're wrong, but there is a wizard inside all of the computers. Just some people can't see them. The copper golems will put things in a chest. Yes, it's very exciting. I just, you know... I like a good sort by weight or alphabetical function, you know. I like a good put all of these things with the other things function. But sometimes they're even in games that it doesn't work. Like, Terraria has the put all the things in the other stack of these things. But because the icons look like all the other icons to me, and there's no way to sort it alphabetically that I found that was relevant, it just always was frustrating. Which is a shame, because that game was a lot of fun. Clean. Turning a ravine into a river. Indeed, indeed. Well, you see, this is gonna connect this river here on the side of the wheat to this greater river here that sort of, you know, goes to the other side there. And I think it'll be very aesthetic in a way that the ravine is not. And then, you know, if for some reason we end up planting a little bit of wheat over here, then it'll be a pleasant little river to go across. Like, I can't imagine, like, some reason that I would have to plant wheat over here. But if one should arise, life is very long, and as they say, full of possibilities and opportunities. And when they say that life is full of opportunities, what they mean is opportunities to plant wheat. They just usually don't say the full thing. But I know what they mean. I know what they mean to say. I can hear it. I can hear it in the sheaves of grain. Really, I just take, like, a peculiar delight in being excessive. Probably not that peculiar. Lots of people like being excessive. But this is just, like, I don't know. I don't know why I like it so much. I don't really care either. Some people need to interrogate why they like the things they do. I think you can ruin a lot of your life that way. To me, nothing is less important than why I feel the way I do. Do I know what Donster is? I don't think so. Hey, IDK. And no, Luke, one does not need a reason to plant wheat. After all, like, existence is its own justification. And, like, when given seeds, should one not plant wheat? One should. One should. And I'm here, I'm just, like, really an instrument of the wheat seeds. Or in this case, of 300,000 wheat seeds. For without their wise leadership, I would be unable, you know, to have achieved anything here. It goes a lot faster if you don't have to dig it in the first place. Alright, yeah, we're gonna have to do this whole thing, or... I mean, it would be simpler to just board it up, right? Yeah. It would be. Boring, though. Nah, not that boring. It'll be fine. It'll buff right out. It doesn't need to be, you know, even. It doesn't need to be even at all. It can be shallow for all I care. All it needs to do is provide me an opportunity. You know, when you're worried about, like, making it regular, you can take a lot longer, but if all you want to do is fill in all the gaps for your river, which is, after all, the objective, I might even have enough dirt for it. I might not. I could go get some. I know a place. I know a guy. You don't want to pay too much for dirt. I got a dirt guy, though. He keeps it all in boxes. Anytime you need it, he just says, "Oh, just a second, let me go to a box." Climb my numbers because it's there. You play wheat because there's land in their seeds. Indeed, indeed. You know, nobody... I don't want to brag, but nobody told me that you could plant wheat in Minecraft. I figured it out on my own. I got the seeds. I was like, I see what to do here. Now I know. And as I've related pretty often, you know, I started planting the field before I left peaceful mode, and before I learned about villagers and how to induce more and such. So I literally didn't need it for food, and I didn't need it for villagers. It was only for the love of wheat. And that's what keeps me going, you know. You can tell if someone's not in it for the love of the game. Maybe one day I'll learn how to do redstone. I doubt it, though. it seems like learning how to do computer programming, I don't really want to learn to do that either. It seems like something I could spend a lot of time on and not be good at all, and I find that prospect very discouraging. I have a very weak and brittle psychological constitution, right? So if I don't get results that I find, good immediately, I'll just give up. It's not really true, but I want it to be true, and if I say it, then it could be. I bet underneath the river of wheat we could plant wheat and then put like a glass top over it. No, we're in peaceful. I said this world, like, for a brief period of time it wasn't in peaceful. I started it in peaceful, and then, once we figured out some stuff, like how a crafting table worked and various things, then someone was like, hey, maybe you should put it on easy at least, that could be fun for you and, the viewers and stuff. And I was like, yeah, that's a good idea. And then very quickly I was like, oh, this easy is actually pretty easy. Why don't I turn it up to hard? And then is the funny part of the story. So there's this dude I worked with, and if he's watching, I don't mean you, I mean somebody else who is indistinguishable from you inside of this story. And he heard me talking about Minecraft, and he said he played and stuff, and he was like, oh yeah, I play hardcore, I'm pretty good. And I'm like, this kid can play hardcore? Well, if he can do it, I definitely can. And somebody else, like my buddy there, was like, he was encouraging. He was like, yeah, no, you can definitely do hardcore, You'll just, you'll die, but eventually you'll learn how to do it. And he was right. It worked out great. But basically, as soon as I started playing hardcore, I turned the mobs back off in this world. And they've, like, never been back on? Never been back on, not that I recall anyway. Because, like, when I'm here, basically that marked when I stopped doing anything in this world except making bookshelves and planting wheat. Because I also made, like, 7,000 bookshelves. I know, hard to believe. Terraria for I should play Terraria again, and then just just turn it off every time that the inventory bothers me. I bet we could get a lot of work done there. Because when I was playing it, I had the most fun. Even dying and stuff was like whatever, except for that one thing in hard mode when the whole village got slaughtered, and I felt very bad about it. But besides that time, I mean, why are we bringing up old stuff, right? But I had like such a great time. The movement was fun, and it was good stuff. But man, every single time I needed to find an item or I realized my inventory was full, it was like I couldn't breathe all over again. It's just like so unpleasant. This is sort of sad here. We're gonna be knocking away a bunch of this wheat, but it's all in the service of the Great River. By lore, they literally reincarnate. That's not such a problem, but why do their names have to change? Like my cat, that cat was one of the first things I spent money on, was my cat license. And some cat license holder I turned out to be. And then they just issue me another cat after I just proved how ill-suited and, how much I don't deserve it. And I was like, man, irresponsible. We need more kelp. Say it's easy to make it look. Yeah, I've heard that one before. Where's the wheat? Oh, it's just right over here. We're making a river by the wheat, but don't worry. Just give me a second, we'll fly back to the wheat. Yeah, the wheat's just right here. Just right here. We just needed some kelp. See? No worries. I'm a guy who always tells the truth with the title of a stream. I have never just titled a stream something and then gone off the rails and not done it at all. Except a few times. You say rocket science is actually really easy, just memorize 200 equations in your square. I have a friend, and he has this hilarious and obnoxious joke where he's like, I mean, rocket science is really easy, it's all just math. It is, of course, what he does for a living, which is why it is a funny joke. But he also has lots of occasions to tell it, which is why it can be obnoxious. No! I got rid of the wheat. That's... not the wheat, the water. A disaster. Folly Beast just saying, have I seen the Walking Dead chapter for Dead by Daylight? No, I did not see that they had done that. Yeah, I was playing that. That's fine. I feel totally fine about that. I am not upset about that. This is my face whenever I'm lying to you. Why did I have to get rid of the water again? Literally the opposite of what we're doing. Literally the opposite of what we're doing here. Anyway, it's fine. We're just gonna put the water back, and this time not break it. Not break it. There we go. Man, I think I never built a river before. But I think building rivers and lakes and stuff is probably my favorite single thing to do in Minecraft. Because, you know, rivers and lakes and things are cool. That's probably too high. We don't want it any higher than sea level here. This contraption is quite simple, actually. And then a 3D renderer made of redstone, yeah. Look, I've seen the chess computer. just because the evaluation is that it wasn't that good at being a chess computer. They built it in Minecraft and it worked. It even gave you like an interval of like a position evaluation. Like, how fun. And we'll just get all of this kelped over here. And of course, the fun thing is that it doesn't take too much. Like, almost before you know it, you do a thing like this, and then like you've already got a river. You just gotta like smooth out the top, and then you know it's aces. 10 years learning redstone. Well, that would be why you know so much of it. Now, I'm sure there are many people in like various computer science fields who basically got their start and interest from playing Minecraft. Because even just like, I feel like honestly, like if you gave like a kid Java and the F3 screen and they had like any interest at all, just like these numbers, they would be so motivated to figure out how to figure out the information that they might, you know, like, there's probably like a bunch of people that have jumped into various careers just based on, you know, the data that Minecraft gives you access to at the click of a button. You guys are all from the classic era. I started playing in June of 2024. And the world of wheat has not been the same since. You don't have to get every single one, but you know, it's somewhat quicker if you do, maybe. I don't know. My poor underwater land. It was necessary. Say the best way to learn redstone is just go to a creative world and test what the things do. Yeah, you know, maybe one of these days. Maybe one of these days I will. Maybe one of these days I'll just, like, become a whole different kind of Minecraft player. I'll just wake up and you'll be like, oh, he's been replaced by an evil twin. He has built an iron farm. This one's too tall. Oh no. No, that's fine. Alright. Is this the right level? It might be one too high. It's probably right. It's probably right. Probably. You say like a true engineer, you just fill it with it until it does what you want it to do. Nice. A bunch of like my high school friends became engineers and stuff, and sometimes I would ask them what they do and pretend like I understood any of it. You know, that's a lot of fun for me, is to pretend like I understand what people are telling me. Yeah, so how much of the wheat do we sacrifice to the river? Just that much? Yeah, just this much. Alas, the wheat could not stay. Always a sad day when you have to destroy some of your wheat, even if it's in the service of a bigger project, a very important one. You know, there's no pride in cutting down a field of wheat and not replanting it. Just a heavy sadness for what had to be done. May the wheat one day forgive us, for we will never be able to forgive ourselves. Does it stay tilled underwater? Fascinating. And then you can't plant kelp on it. Anti-fascinating. Oh, Colin, Mail the Tollboard, don't stand wanted to remind you what you just did. Alas. Alas. You know me, I'll just cover it up. And I'll pretend like it never happened. And then later, when people are around that know what happened, I'll pretend that that didn't happen. I'll be like, what? That river? It's always been there. And before long, it'll even be true. But we'll come back and fix that one up the rest of the way. You know, just being sort of around while we're messing around, the kelp will grow up, and a lot of it'll just sort itself out. Poor wheat. Alas. You know, and while there's plenty of wheat, those wheats were all very valuable too. Every bit as good as this wheat here that gets to keep on growing. And, you know, there's only me to blame. You can't blame these golems for that. They're stomping on the wheat and not replanting it. You can blame them for that, and I do, but no pain, no grain. Oh, I feel the pain. I feel the pain from your painful, painful pun. The brutality of it all. So here, this ravine already does exist, but it needs to complete through there just for aesthetics, I guess, and then there'll be like a drop-off, yeah, and then we can just run through here. Because again, a nice little river will do nicely to offset it, you know. But that'll be for another day. But yeah, that's by the way, yes, as I said earlier, we finished. Colin, you say you're gonna request I close every night by myself this week? Not gonna happen. You don't have that kind of power, sir. I'll just drag my computer up to work. I'll plant wheat there, you know. But yeah, there you go. That's the whole mountain. That's the whole of everything. It's all wheat now. Now it's just putting the finishing touches on, and then picking another place to plant a bunch of wheat. I mean, learning to play the game. That's what I mean. But rather than have the sunset, we will have the sunrise again, because that's the sort of power you can have at your fingertips. You still vote speedrun on easy? Well, you know, I maybe I'll try another one of those on like Wednesday or Thursday. That could be fun. It could be fun. I am a lot better at the game than I was the last time I tried. But yeah, but anyway. That's all I've got for you right now. I gotta go to bed. Probably drag this on a little bit longer than I should have, but I've been having a good time. And I hope you have too. Good night, Colin. Good night, Natasha. Good night, Angelo. Good night, Luke. Good night, Yellow Cheese Pizza Guy. Good night, Floppy Beast. Oh yeah. By the way, Pizza Guy, everybody loves the icon, the profile picture. I've been telling people in real life about it. They've been pulling out their phones and looking. I think I mentioned that to you earlier, but you know, I'm probably going to keep talking about it for a little bit. You'll have to forgive me. But anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, everyone. Good night, unless it's a morning for you, in which case, good morning, or at least it'll be a morning to be good on. Perhaps I'll see you in the next stream or video. And, yep, well, anyway, good night.